Can everybody see my screen? I don't know. Am I audible? If you can hear me, if you can, I don't know. I'll use the chat button or
Yes,
Kelsey.
you're audible. You're audible. Please, I would like us to unmute and speak when it's necessary and text when it's necessary so that our speaker can know that he has an audience. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Hold on. So let me put this up here. So who am I? This is the basic introduction. Uh, my real name is Abdul Qadir. Full name is Abdul Qadir Abdul Qadir. So it doesn't really matter how you put it. I am a cybersecurity enthusiast. I'm technically still a student, but I'm getting my way into cybersecurity. Um, I post on X. I share resources, hacking techniques, beginner friendly, content. How to basically start up and break, have a breakthrough. They have done in cybersecurity without stressing that much because personally starting it was a whole big hassle for me. It was an entire thing. So yeah, I would put this. So I'll move to the next slide. So we're going to discuss four things today. Uh, Firstly, we'll start with the cybersecurity basics. Basically, what cybersecurity is, why it matters, why cybersecurity is a thing today. Then we'll move next to common cyber threats and how to stay safe. Then we'll speak a little bit about Web3 and its security implications. Then we would move to security risks in Web3 and how to protect yourself. And then finally and lastly, we would move to how to basically start your cybersecurity journey. Then I think the last step should be the Q&A session where people would get to unmute their mic and basically ask me beginner friendly or a bit advanced questions. I don't know anyone I can answer. I would definitely try my best to answer appropriately according to my experience and stuff. Is everybody still with me? Can you see my screen? Can you hear me? Am I audible? I want to know. Okay, good. I can see hands up and stuff. Okay, good. Hold on. Sorry. Good. So so moving on to the to the next slide. God, my shit this. So yeah, what is cybersecurity? I didn't stress with this definition because I will do a lot of yapping about what cybersecurity is. So cybersecurity is simple. It's simple. It's just the practice of protecting system, networks, and data from cyber threats. It ensures these three things you see on the screen. One, which is the confidentiality, which is basically keeping data private. The second is integrity, which basically just means that any data that has been imputed is not being altered, authenticated, changed, or tampered with. Then the third one is availability, which basically is all about keeping system up and operational and stuff. These three concepts on their own is called, they are called the CIA triads. When you're starting your journey in cybersecurity, this is the first thing you're going to learn on any cybersecurity tutorial. I mean, there are some that will go as far as teaching you about the internet, how the internet was created and all those things, but once you come to what is cybersecurity on its own, the first thing you're going to be met with is going to be the CIA triads, which are basically confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Everything you're going to do in cybersecurity is to make sure that these three concepts are not being messed with. So basically, I think I'll go over it again. So CIA triads, confidentiality, integrity, availability. Confidentiality is making sure that data is being kept private. Simple. I don't think I need to do much explanation on that. So integrity, um, making sure that data are not being they're not being changed. I think best place to do that is they use something called hashing, or people that are a bit, that have started their journey, or I don't know if you've heard it, somewhere online. I think hashing, they basically convert a normal message into this string of gibberish and stuff. And when you change the original message and then you hash it, it doesn't produce the same amount of strings. It's basically how hashing works. So um, that's basically the way they normally keep data integrities. When you start going into forensics and stuff, they use it a lot. So especially when they start going to court case. But yeah, then availability, keeping system operational. We're talking about servers being up. This can be physical. This can be not so physical. We're talking about cloud and stuff. So making sure that if you are hosting your, let's say, drives to maybe a website, I mean, sometimes this is a website. If you are hosting it yourself, making sure that they are in best shape. Talking about putting them in proper, keeping them in a proper storage room with, you know, enough power, steady, what are they calling it? Steady cooling system available, and all that, so that it doesn't just, go down when people are trying to access, for example, your website. So very important. So going again, CIA triads, confidentiality. I didn't touch on it, but the best way to keep data private is encryption. So yeah, encrypting the data. Integrity, hashing, availability, just making sure servers are up and active. That's basically it and stuff. They're not being overloaded with too much data and stuff. There's another concept called DOS attack or DDoS attack. You get all that under availability. So basically, data has always been available for the right users at the right time. So yeah, um, I think I've touched this enough. I would move to the next slide now. Why is cyber security important? I mean, that's a very valid question. If you, as a beginner, want to move into cybersecurity, you want to know why it's important. Why is cybersecurity a thing? Why are you trying to move into this concept? Why are you trying to break through? Why are you trying to, be a cybersecurity analyst, enthusiast, uh, basically whatever role it is under cybersecurity? Why would you want to go there? Why does it matter? Why does cybersecurity matter? So the first option, first thing you have in the slide is the cybercrime is rising. If you go online every time, almost every day, there's always a data breach. There's some ransomware attack, or I think the most common one are basically identity theft. You would see. I wouldn't even go as far as saying in the black market, even in Telegram. Yeah, you see they're selling people's identity and stuff that hackers use a couple of hacking techniques to collect. So basically, for example, USA, they can get to their credit card details, their SSN, their full name, address, basically their private information, and then sell them to other cyber criminals for money and stuff. Uh, that's one. These are examples of cybercrime that are rising. Ransomware attacks. This is when they send a kind of malicious software, they specifically call it ransomware. They send it to an organization system or an individual system, or basically mostly the target organization, because ransomwares are a bit expensive, and it encrypts everything, encrypts the file in that particular system and asks for some certain amount of money before they can give you the decryption key, so you don't lose anything. I wish I had a picture of one. I don't know. Do I have enough time to go on to Google? Kelsey, please, how long do I have? I don't know, maybe I can Google and show an example of a ransomware, like a picture. How long do I have to speak for?
You have at least an hour.
Okay, at least an hour. Okay, let me see if I can Google, ransomware picture of a ransomware attack. Can everybody see my screen? Sorry, I will just assume everybody can see my screen. Ransomware attack pictures. I want to show an example of how it looks like. I don't know, my caps lock is on. Is what the image is. Uh, Real life. This is why I prefer Google. Uh, ah, Sorry, let's just okay. I think I found one. This looks a bit real. How do I expand this? Open image in new tab. Okay, it looks something like this basically. When a particular device, let's say the HR or the manager's uh, computer gets infected with ransomware, it looks something like this. So they will ask you to pay a certain amount, let's say in Bitcoin, like let's say like this, to this wallet. And then once they have received the money, once these cyber criminals have received the money, then they would send you the decryption file where you could input it and then decrypt. You could see your encrypted files here. And in most cases, companies or organizations that have poor cybersecurity plan around them, they only fall for this because they normally do not have proper backups, and then the files they need for their day-to-day activities have been compromised. And if they don't pay this amount, they lose everything. In most cases, cyber criminals would actually give you that decryption key to access your files back because you're trying to keep a reputation. They don't want to be known as the people that ask for money and then you don't pay, and then you pay and then they still, make you lose your stuff. So in most cases, they do pay because they're trying to like build an entire reputation and stuff. So yeah, so rise in cybercrime is one. So we need professionals for a lot of things, for awareness, for um, proper setting up of systems and proper security practices in organizations. We need actual people in that field. There's never too much. You get into it, you learn the skills, you'll be of like great help. And then yes, secondly, everybody's a target, individual businesses and even the government. Yeah, individual, we're talking about when they steal your personal information and sell them out. Businesses, ransomware, for example, is one. And even government, they are properly staged attacks by like a proper organization. There are proper hacking organizations out there that are sponsored by the government, by maybe another country's government, and they can actually go as far as stealing another country's sensitive data and stuff. So basically, when you have a cybersecurity analyst working for you, they can help put proper security measures to make sure that these don't happen. And then third option we have here is a strong cybersecurity foundation protects assets and privacy. I think I have touched all this in the last two explanation I did and stuff. So the next step we would go to is the cybersecurity rules. Now there are there are a lot of rules. I just I highlighted these four because like they are the most let's say they're the most popular ones people know about, but there are a lot. If you go on my Twitter page, no, sorry, if you go on my Twitter page, I think you search, you would see where I made like a more comprehensive post talking about like morals, about 12 and stuff. But I'll talk about this for the sake of this meeting. So the first one is the ethical hacker, which surprisingly most people, once you tell someone that you're doing cybersecurity, in most cases they will think you are an ethical hacker or a penetration tester, for short, a pen tester. So basically, hackers, what they do, they test security legally by actually breaking into system. They are red team, they are actual red teams and they are penetration testers. They're basically kind of the same since they are both ethical hackers, but they both have like different range, I would like to say. Like full red teamers go as far as testing physical security. Talking about they would come test your security guard, test your fence, then down to system. Penetration testers mostly just stay within the scope of testing your actual devices, basically the security of your devices. So they try to bypass your firewalls, of course, legally. With there's something called a scope where they will tell you where they want you to try on. You go outside that scope is a problem. So ethical hackers follow a lot of rules. They're also called white hat hackers, white hat hackers. Speaking about hackers, I think there are three types. There are mostly three types, I would say. there's white hat, there's black hat, and then there's the gray hat. White hat, white hats are basically ethical hackers. They work fully within the legal scope. They don't go outside it. They work for companies. Companies hire them, pay them to try and actually like hack them for a price. Obviously, they get paid and then they try it and then they get paid and they go. Black hats are basically cyber criminals. They are people with these skills, with these ethical hackers skills, or some of them are just script kiddies with just access to tools that they don't even know how it works, but they know that if I do this, do this, it will work. So they use it to basically hack for bad purposes, for criminal reasons, to steal identity, to cause data breaches, ransomwares again, all things. Then gray hats are basically kind of in the middle. They they get paid, and whenever they feel like it, they grab they can go criminal. Sometimes they hack websites successfully without without asking for any let's say without permission from the owners of that site, for example. And depending on their mode, they can choose to sell it to cyber criminals, or they will report it to the site and then make them 50 grand. So basically, I think I've touched enough on that part. So moving to the next one, we have security analysts. I feel like I should have mixed them with SOC analysts at this point, because they basically do the same thing. SOC analysts, SOC on itself means Security Operations Center analyst. So what they do, sorry, I'm skipping to the last one here first. What they do is they monitor threats in real time and stuff. They have these skills that they learn, that they get to check the organization, they check the network, files. They can capture network files, analyze them for attacks. They have tools ready made to make sure that the company is not being breached, or if they have been breached, they have things set up to alert them. Speaking of that, I think they set up there's something called an IPS. There's an IPS and IDS. One is an intrusion prevention system, the other is an intrusion detection system. They set this up on companies and then they get alerted. There are different ways to set it up. You could set it up to notice abnormal behaviors. So when you're doing something abnormal on their network, they get alerted and then they look into you. They get like, it's called an event. They see, they're like, okay, something happened here by this time, by this also IP address. Let's check what it was and stuff. So they're basically equipped with the skills. These are when you are specializing, the specialties, and then they learn how to defend system. Basically, yeah, they do the same thing. SOC analysts and security analysts are basically just take the explanation as the same thing. They do the same thing. Then we have the forensics analysts. These guys, how would I explain them better? These guys mostly work with, I would say, court cases, forensics, deleted data. If there's a case where, let's say, someone deleted stuff, maybe you deleted your text message, deleted a file that can incriminate you and stuff, they have certain skills and tools that they can use to recover this. So yeah, fun fact, nothing you delete is actually deleted. You can always bring at least fraction of this file back. I think how deleting works is once you delete something, just the pointer to that file is just what you erase, not the file itself. It kind of scatters the file somehow, but with the proper tools, they can always recover them. And if you have something criminal that you're doing, they could use it against you, bring it in court and stuff. That's what forensics analysts do. I should have added Web3 security auditors and stuff, since I'm also talking about cybersecurity and Web3, but I did not. So I will just move to the next slide. Is everybody with me? I feel like I've been, yeah, is everybody with me? Let me see some reaction. I'm back here. So, okay. Someone raised their hands. Is it cool if I take questions now? Okay, just let me finish the presentation. I think question and answer will be at the end. Okay. Okay, good. Everyone's with me. So I'm moving to the next slide. The next slide is going to talk about common cyber threats and how to stay safe. So basically, popular cyber attacks and how to stay safe from these attacks. So we have number one, the most popular one, to be honest, which is the phishing attacks. This is when the cyber criminal set up fake emails. They learn this skill where they can, let's say, clone a legitimate site, let's say facebook.com, on a different server and stuff. They could just tweak the name a bit, get a domain name and stuff. Then they use, yeah, they actually program messages for email, HTML and CSS. Looks like a Facebook urgent message. They will just send it to a group of unsuspecting victims. There's a way they also they gather information online based on people that visit the site. They have tools that actually scrape emails, funny enough, for whatever platform it is they're targeting. Is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? Is it whatever? And then they clone this fake LinkedIn somewhere, or fake bank, account somewhere. And then they send them to these emails that I've gathered in bulk and stuff. And it's mostly some from very urgent message like your account is being compromised. Click here to secure your account. And then you open it, they start asking for your private information. What is your name? What's your username? What's your password? What's your two-factor authentication? Sometimes they ask you to put your email, username, and password. And so program real well. And then unsuspecting victims, obviously, fall for this, put all their information. This is also one way the cyber criminals steal identity, because now they have both your logins and actual extra personal information about you. If you said this, you click submit, you send it straight to these guys, and they maybe access your account, compromise it, whatever. And yeah, that's one way. So even phishing attack, funny enough, there are different types. There's smishing, which is basically still phishing, but this is done via SMS. There's phishing, which is still phishing attack, but done via call, where they call you, you pick the call, you talk, you're like, yeah, hello, who is this? It could be like, I'm calling you from social bank and stuff. Your account is in this. I think this phishing attack was a popular one that was running in Nigeria specifically at the time. They'll call you claiming to be from the bank. They'll say something's wrong with your BVN. You need to give your card details, blah, blah, blah. You give your card details, you try to deduct money from it. They ask you for the OTP. You give, wow, money is out. they just zap our money from your account and stuff. So that is how phishing works. It's basically phishing, but with extra step. That different type is smishing, phishing is other ishing. That's how they all end. So solution is never click suspicious link ever. You receive an email, check the email, check the headers. You can check the header, and make sure that it's from actual site. Look, being a cybersecurity site can cause you to have paranoia, because every single email I receive, I have to always check, like, hope this is, I have to check, is it twitter.com, is it x.com, is it facebook.com, actual Facebook, because they could use the fake A instead of the actual A. Look, cyber criminals are very smart with these things. Sometimes it's even very hard to differentiate the real one from the fake one. But I think I would still make some posts on my Twitter account clarifying this thing, showing how how convincing these things can be, that even someone as knowledgeable as myself would fall for it. To be honest, someone is above it, but stay vigilant, because a lot of times these cyber criminals are lazy. So you could just see one or two red flags and you just don't click on it. So yeah, don't click on suspicious link. Verify this in identity. You receive a random link on your Twitter or WhatsApp from someone you do not know. Don't click on it at all. That is one way to just stay safe, because there are some links that are so good that they have like cookie grabbers. You log in, they steal your cookies, which can be used to bypass 2FA and other things. But that is also on that way. So basically, never click suspicious link, and always verify the sender identity before clicking on a link. The second popular cyber threat is the malware and ransomware. Ransomware is a type of a malware, by the way, malicious software, malware. And the ransomware, I think I spoke about it. The ransomware works, it encrypts data in your file and then asks you to pay a certain amount of money to have it unlocked. Basically, you pay, and if you are lucky, which in most cases the cyber criminals do actually send the decryption key for you to unlock your computers and like have access to the your data and stuff. So solution: installing antivirus software, and yeah, do not download files from unknown resources. Don't see one GTA 6 file free online, and you're like, oh my god, GTA 6 for free, and people are paying $30. Oh my god, these guys are doing giveaway, and download it and install it on your system. You install it and it will lock your files, especially when it's a company system. You want to play GTA 6 on your company laptop because, oh my god, it's a gaming laptop and it's so fast. You end up downloading a ransomware, and then you end up paying a lot of money, more than GTA 6 to get it unlocked and stuff. That's why most cybersecurity experts, they will never use cracked software, because that's also one way you can get malware in your system using cracked software and stuff. Preferably purchase them or find free alternatives. So yeah, the third one is man in the middle attacks. This basically is an attack where the hacker is intercepting the communication between you and a particular server and stuff. Mostly this happens when you're on a Wi-Fi network. I did carry out this attack. I made a post on it. It should be on my LinkedIn or my Twitter. I don't know. It's an old post where I carried out this attack and stuff. So it's basically playing around with, there's something called ARP, which basically, how will I explain API work? It links your MAC address to an IP address and stuff. You trick the router, into thinking you are a particular computer using that, and then you trick the computer into thinking you are the router by messing around with the ARP. And when you mess around with it, you become the man in the middle, because once the victim is sending a request, he doesn't send it to the router, he sends it to you, because like you are now the router, and then you forward it to the actual router, and then the router sending back the information, will send it back to you, because like he thinks you are that computer, and then you receive the message and then forward it to the the victim. So it's, in most cases, when you fall for a man in the middle attack, you don't know, it's quiet, everything will move smoothly, but you're already being intercepted. So one solution is to use HTTPS. I carried out okay, so currently I'm learning what's the name, traffic analysis, on a course I'm on taking, because again I still say I'm a student. So there's this thing where I did, where I intercepted HTTP request using TCP dump and stuff. It's basically a tool. So basically, when you are browsing on a site that is running on HTTP, the entire data that's been transferred between you and that server is in plain text. So if a man in the middle is present and is intercepting those shit, he sees everything you're doing. You log in, you put your username, your password, he's seeing it. You're loading an image, he's seeing it. You have seen this link, he's seeing it. Everything, simple step you make, he's seeing it. So use HTTPS. If you're on HTTPS, if you, whatever site it is you're browsing on HTTPS, that is extra security. It turns everything gibberish. It encrypts your information. So even if there's a man in the middle, all he'll be seeing are just gibberish. Whatever I intercept will be useless because it's encrypted. And so far, so good. I've not really seen anyone really decrypt a HTTPS. I mean, technically it should be possible, because cybersecurity, there's nothing like absolute security, but so far I haven't heard anyone actually decrypting an HTTPS packet and stuff. Second solution is to avoid public Wi-Fi without a VPN. Heavy on without the VPN. If you're the kind of person that like free Wi-Fi, please avoid it. I know data is expensive. MTN have raised the price of data and stuff, but try. Just browse with your data or connect to a protected public Wi-Fi. Even with that, if the hacker has the password, he can still try and intercept your network. So if you are basically connecting to a public Wi-Fi, please use a VPN. It encrypts your connection and makes it gibberish, just like how HTTPS would. So yeah, the other one is basically password attacks. This is brute force or credential stuffing. So basically, brute force attack is when the hacker has a combination of different username and passwords, and it keeps trying them to, like, randomly differently to access a particular account. Credential stuffing is kind of a lag, but this one happens when you're already been compromised. For example, let's say your password is I love cybersecurity 123, and the hacker found out that okay, the password to let's say your Facebook account, I love using Facebook, is I love cybersecurity 123, and then he has compromised, he has hacked you, and he has found out that's your password. How credential stuffing it works is he'll be like, okay, what if you use the same password for your, for your Instagram? So he goes to your Instagram with the same username and password and use it, and it's like, okay, works. If it doesn't work, you try it on LinkedIn. You grab, it will definitely work one or two ways. So he keeps using your already compromised username and password to keep trying to access multiple sites that you might own. So solution is use strong passwords, and I would add to using strong password is you should use a password manager, so it keeps generating different passwords for different sites. But again, I will still hit on the fact that there is nothing like absolute security. It doesn't exist. So I guess your password manager can be hacked, but then hey, the security, you sacrifice one thing for one thing. Would you sacrifice stressing your brain and trying to create a new password that you might forget, or just have a password manager that probably can get hacked? Who knows? Less likely, but it prints username, it prints the password for you. Strong password, differently, unique ones every time that can always use to access different sites and stuff easily. And then second step is also to enable multiple factor authentication. This is extra layer of protection. When you go into cybersecurity, you learn about something called defense in depth, and there you would one of the first things they will talk about is MFA, which is multiple factor authentication, where you start using things like something you know, something you have, something you are. See, something you are should be like your biometrics and stuff. Something you know, password, technically not two-factor authentication. Something you have, let's say a token, could you have a flash drive that you could like plug in to verify that you're the one and stuff. So there should be another extra something, again, forgotten, but you'll learn about multi-factor authentication, and then you can always add like 2, 3, or even 4 of this to add extra layer of protection to your device. So even when you get compromised from one side, there's no way they can provide the other side, because like, let's say you can have two-step authentication where they send an SMS to your phone and stuff for you can access. So basically, use strong password, use password managers, then enable multi-factor authentication on your site to prevent password attacks. So I'll go through this again. Common cybersecurity threats and how to stay safe. Phishing attacks, never click suspicious link, always verify the sender's identity. Did someone, I heard a sound? Okay, I think someone left the meeting. Okay, going back here. Second, malware and ransomware attacks. Solution, install antivirus and do not download files from unknown places. Third one is man in the middle attacks. Just always make sure that the site you are browsing on is loading on HTTPS, and avoid public Wi-Fi without VPN, or just avoid public Wi-Fi generally. Then the last one is password attacks, and solution is strong passwords, use password managers, and always enable multi-factor authentication. And there's a cool line in here that states cybersecurity starts with awareness. Protect yourself by following the best practices. Know this. Moving to the next slide, introduction to Web3 and its implications. Whew, I think we're almost done. What is Web3? So basically, Web3 is the next evolution of the internet built on blockchain technology. Unlike Web2, which is a centralized platform like Facebook, Web3 is decentralized. So basically, we're talking about crypto. I think anything blockchain, we're talking about crypto, NFT. So basically, you just say Web3, that should be what should go to your head. Crypto, cryptography, how it works, and all that. If you are thinking about going into these aspects as a cybersecurity expert, to be honest, my knowledge on Web3 on itself is shallow. But if you're thinking about going to it, you have to learn about the blockchain and how it works. The first thing you learn about is decentralized. There's no central authority. There's no like someone that owns it per se. There's only peer-to-peer transactions. There's just a bunch of people coming together to like transact. It's like the internet. The internet is decentralized. No one owns the internet. It's just a bunch of computers coming together to interact with each other, and that's what creates internet. Generally, no one owns it. So no one can be like the internet will end today. You can only remove yourself from the internet, but you cannot destroy the internet. That's basically how Web3 works. The decentralization aspect is the fact that there's no central authorities, just two people or two more people working together to run their transactions. Then you have smart contracts. These are basically self-executing contracts on the blockchain, basically contracts that execute themselves by themselves, apparently. Won't go into deep into that. Go next to the next point, which is the cryptographic security. Basically, secure transaction with private keys. I don't know if anybody on here uses maybe I've transacted crypto. I think most Nigerians have. With the statistic, I would assume almost every Nigerian have at least transacted in crypto once in their life. There's something called private keys. You share it out, you are compromised, basically. Basically, secure transaction happen with the existence of these private keys. Moving to the next one. Okay. Why cybersecurity is critical in Web3 on its own. For the same advantages, I guess it has. One is there's no central authority, so no customer support when you get hacked. I mean, well, it depends on the wallet, but still, basically, there's no basically central authority. If you get hacked, you get hacked. Otilo, don't go. Smart contract cannot be reversed if exploited. Again, due to the fact that they are self-replicating on their own. Once they get exploited, they do not get reversed. And then crypto wallet and DeFi platform are major hacking targets. These two. If you all have been active with the entire security news, I think recently Bybit got hacked. Crazy stuff. Like no one would believe it. Bybit got hacked, and I was like, crazy. I've forgotten the entire gist about it. I hosted a piece and someone explained how they did it, and it was a bit complex, but the point is they eventually got hacked. That is why cybersecurity exists. That's why we are always in business, because no matter how good and secure your systems are, there's no absolute security. You're going to always throw something for something, you're going to exchange something for something. There's no the perfect security, there's no infinitely good things, you feel me? There's no infinitely bad things, but I always go, there's no infinitely good things. No matter how robust the security is, there's just going to be something you're going to trade in for something, and eventually hackers are never stopping. They will never stop to try. They're always trying. Eventually they'll find a way to compromise you, and if you do not have good strategies on how to come back and stuff, you are fucked, and that's the end of your business. It ruins reputation, especially when you're working in the Web3 space. You're working on actual people's money and stuff. Once you lose reputation, it's very hard to come back from that. I think a lot of people left Bybit after that hack, and they lost money because they had to pay a lot of people back the money from their own pockets, which you grab. This is just the things that happen when you suffer a data breach and stuff. It's not nice. It's never nice. Some even get fined by by government of the particular country they are working on and stuff. Okay. So basically, how to stay safe in security, how to stay safe. So again, I'm not too big in Web3. What I'm focusing on is being a penetration tester, and I'm also in the blue team side. So I will just read it directly from here and explain to the best of my knowledge. And then we'll move to taking the question aspect, because I think it's almost an hour. I've been yapping for about 40 minutes now. So we'll start with smart contract vulnerabilities. There are coding flaws. In cybersecurity, the one you start, it's when you start reading for security, but we always tell you about secure coding practices and stuff, where you do stuff like input validations to make sure that you do not have flaws in your programming and stuff. But again, human beings, one of the biggest vulnerabilities, by the way, in cybersecurity is they do make flaws, they do make mistakes, they could have coding flaws, and that could lead to smart contracts having vulnerabilities, and then they get exploited. So solution: audit smart contracts before deployment. So if you are trying to be a Web3 security audit, still under cybersecurity, yes, you have to really learn about this stuff. You have to really learn about smart contract, how they've been programmed, how to point out these poorly coded files and stuff, how to fix them. A lot of people make a lot of money from them. In fact, I think a company reached out to me uh, to help them to join. Basically, I told them I had no knowledge about it, and they gave me a bunch of resources to learn. I would definitely love to go into Web3 security auditing in the future. There's money there, and it looks fun. There's a lot of work. It's not easy. As well, I saw the work, I saw the resources they gave me. The first video only was like, I think like 20 something hour long video, and I saw it and I was like, I swear I thought it was 2 hours 40 minutes until I watched the video for about 30 minutes and saw that the cursor was still very far. I was like, I had to look again. I was like, what, 24 20 something hours and stuff. It's a lot of work. So second one is the phishing and social engineering. Again, this is the biggest this is like the biggest ways a lot of a lot of people fall victim for. Basically, even outside Web3, generally in everywhere, I think I spoke about it, they create fake crypto pages and make people connect their wallet to it and then fall victim. I posted about one a while ago and stuff. I posted about one on my page. Someone in the Web3 space got scammed. I think there's someone in the Web3 space got scammed. Sorry. Someone in the Web3 space got scammed. I know he fell for this social engineering stuff. Someone DM'd him, spoke about how he wants to work with him, blah blah blah. Got his trust. Sent him a link. The guy didn't think much about it. He opened it on his laptop where he had his crypto stuff, everything is money and everything, and as soon as he clicked it, everything just disappeared. Left. So again, I think we spoke about it earlier. So not for phishing attacks. Do not click on unknown links from unknown persons and stuff. Especially when in the Web3 space, you have to keep your eyes open. Then there's next one is private key management. So basically, yeah, you lose your key, you lose your funds. Basically, if you do not save your private key properly, and let's say you lose your device that you have your crypto wallet logged into, you lose everything gone, the money and stuff, it's gone. So solution: store key securely in cold wallets, ledgers, Trezor. I legit do not really know what cold wallets are, but I would say store your crypto, share your private keys in places you can always retrieve them. Please do that if you're going into the Web3 space. And then bridge and DeFi hacks. Yeah, these are basically just hacks due to protocol and stuff. So basically, smart contracts that go live without proper auditing, for this and stuff. So solution is just to use well audited protocols and avoid high risk DeFi platforms, so you do not lose your money to this particular point. Moving to the next one. Good. A fun part. I've gone out of the part I don't really know very well. Back to what I really know. How to start your journey in cybersecurity. I think this part here. Check out my X post. I have a pinned post. It's cyber_raz on Twitter. I have a pinned post where I not only spoke about how to start as a total beginner, I also gave resources that you can start with, and with constant research and also joining communities, you break through and hopefully be big in the space, get a job or get gigs and be getting paid for, because eventually you want to use your skills for money and stuff. So how to start cybersecurity. The first point we have here is you learn the basics. Learn the basics of cybersecurity. The basics generally, you also have to include networking, because as a cybersecurity, someone that's looking to be a cybersecurity expert, you have to learn both cybersecurity fundamentals. You learn about CIA triads, you learn about malwares, you learn about incident response, you learn about I'm thinking of other introductory concepts that you have to understand. Cybersecurity, secure practices, incident response, disaster recovery plans, all those things. You learn about them, and then you learn about networking basics. So you have concepts like what's an IP address, the OSI model, how it works. There's also the TCP/IP model, how it works. What else again? The DHCP, how do devices in a LAN network, basically a LAN, I guess, gets the IP address. You learn that via DHCP, how it works, DNS, basically basic introductory stuff like that. Then after that, this particular thing here, I made AI generated for me from my own aspects. I wouldn't say follow it. After you've learned the cybersecurity fundamental, the networking fundamentals, what you would want to jump straight into is into your niche. Do you want to go into forensics? Do you want to be an ethical hacker? Do you want to be a SOC analyst? Start learning them, start learning how to, use tools, create work on labs, um, e-portfolio, do actual stuff, get your hands dirty with practical stuff and stuff. And you'll be good. Skipping to this, practice the capture the flag challenges. There are platforms like Try Hack Me and Hack the Box, where you could input the field you're trying to break into in cybersecurity, and they'll give you different real life scenarios like simulations where you could practice and get your hands dirty with almost real life situations before you can start going to actually try on real life situations and stuff. Thirdly, I would follow cybersecurity experts and stuff. Stay updated. There are people I follow myself. This awesome woman, this Dr. Ireti and stuff. I look up to her. She does awesome things in the cybersecurity space. There's Bowtied Cyber himself, who I'm currently on his bootcamp that he created. What I'm thinking, join communities like the DOH community, it's UI Black, join spaces. If you're not on Twitter, I advise you to please join Twitter, follow cybersecurity people, so that when they host spaces, you can come online, follow, people that also into the space, connect with other people, make friends, talk about this. Having a community is awesome. It will help you. You get access to resources you would have never gotten before and stuff. And so you'll be updated with the latest trends that's happening and all those things. And then lastly, certifications. Good enough, start going for certifications. If you can afford it, certifications are expensive. So if you cannot afford one, I'll just say work on your labs, put them in your portfolio, and then put them out there for people to see. And follow me on Twitter, cyber_ras to post good stuff. Then I think this is all. I hope this session was good. I hope you all understood everything and understand how, if you're new, if you're trying to break in cybersecurity, I hope you learned something. If you're already into it, I hope you added some one or two knowledge. I think it's time for the question asking now. I don't know how it's going to be. Kelsey, how do they ask the questions and stuff for people that have questions? I saw you sent something to me on Twitter. Can you please help clarify on that too? Am I audible?
Oh, hi. Yes, you are. I was trying to unmute myself. Right. Good evening once again. Thank you. I've really enjoyed your class. Yes, I asked you to check your DM on X. I sent you a message. Yes.
Okay.
And for the question asking parts, if you have a question, just you can unmute yourself and speak. This is the best time to get clarity, right? Because we are all here learning together. So please unmute yourself and speak, or you can type in the chat box.
Okay, anyone. I would open the chat box and keep my eyes open. If you want to talk, just, I guess, as she said, unmute yourself and you can ask me questions. I'm open to answer to the best of my knowledge. Let's. I think there's like 5 minutes before. Okay, Benjamin has raised his hands. Benjamin, you're turning on your mic.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Benjamin.
Please, I hope my voice is clear.
You're very audible.
Okay. So I wanted to know, in a situation where you're being hacked, is it possible to unhack yourself? I don't know. I don't know if there is a window for that kind of stuff.
Okay. In the situation of being when you're being hacked, I wouldn't exactly say you can unhack yourself. There are measures. Okay. There's something called incident response. It's a concept in cybersecurity on its own. So it happens when there's a data breach or when, an incident, basically when there's a hack or maybe a server went down. It's basically covers any anomaly that's going to happen like in an organization. So in terms of getting hacked, there's going to be an incident response plan. It's going to be available, and there's going to be how they have spoken about it. There's also a concept called tabletop exercise, but basically under still the incident response plan. So basically, they'll talk about how to handle a specific type of attack. They do this by analyzing their risks. I think I said this before. There's nothing like an ultimate security. There's no ultimate security. It doesn't exist. So they know the risks and they know where most likely an attack will come from. So they have conversation about it and then they have plans ready. So when they do get hacked, there's no way to get unhacked because especially when you get hacked, the the criminal would have taken valuable information, files. He would have stolen files and stuff, and maybe sell them on the dark web or even post them for free just to tarnish your image and stuff. What you can do as an organization is to recover from that using your ready-made incident response plan. They typically have first analyze the situation, first analyze what was hacked, what was compromised, from where, how was it hacked, block it. Next step is to block it, to stop it. If they can't stop it immediately, maybe the attack is still ongoing, they can mitigate it by maybe shutting down the server itself and stuff. So different ways. If it's, let's say, an open port that's open and stuff, they make sure that they close it or they secure it. Basically, whatever way they were being breached, they first cover it and then make a plan for it not to happen again in the future. It's basically how an incident response plan works. So you're not exactly going to unhack yourself per se, but you're going to have ways to recover from that. That's where, yeah, incident response and data loss plan, they come into action there. But then if you lose stuff, how to recover from them. Sometimes, as I said, in terms of data breaches, and the government fines them. So they will probably have money saved to pay off for that, to pay for maybe if people money were stolen, pay back people, make apology, make awareness that it's been fixed, and gain people's trust back. So basically, ways to recover is only what's available. When you're being hacked, you're being hacked. You can unhack yourself, but with proper planning, you can recover faster than planned. Benjamin, I don't know. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I got that. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Um, okay, I think there's another question by Joy. Look, let me say, okay, good evening, everyone. I've used the voice chat, but it's raining heavily. I want to ask if someone to get in cybersecurity, what spec of device I need to have because the laptop I have now is it not powerful. Now, Joy, I don't know if you're still active. I would have to ask you some extra questions. Um, you don't exactly need a powerful laptop, for example. For most of the field, like SOC analysts or forensics, or even being a penetration tester, you need to run a virtual machine, or you could dual boot it to run Linux, Kali Linux, or you could even run WSL Ubuntu, basically Linux in your Windows and stuff. If your laptop is power enough to just run Kali Linux, then you're good. Even if it's slow a bit, the longer it works. You can use it to run that. Outside that, if you're going into other concepts like GRC, for example, then that's government regulation and compliance. I think that's what it means. It's also an expert in cybersecurity where they enforce government laws in an organization so that they don't break them and end up getting fined and stuff. That's also a part of security. You don't even really need a laptop that can do much. Just a laptop that can open your browser, browse, read, basically browse internet, visit your course PDF or is it online. Just as long as it can connect to internet and browse, it's more than enough to run it. So even for the really, really like tough ones, you don't really need a strong laptop. Before I upgraded my laptop, I was using a laptop that was suffering me, but it ran Kali Linux good. So I waited for it to boot a bit and then I did my stuff. So you don't exactly need a very powerful laptop. If you, I don't know if you maybe can even share a laptop spec a bit. If it's 4 gig RAM, 8 space, just good processor, it should run fast. It should run fine. Obviously, a more powerful laptop will be better, but then if you're starting, you do not have one, you cannot afford one, you can start with that one first before you can later upgrade, hopefully with money in the future. I don't know. Hope this answers your question, Joy. Use the chat to reply, I guess. Okay, Joy is not responding. Just not responding, but I hope I've answered the question. Do we have any extra question? I think we're already even past time and stuff. I have quiz questions I want to give. So please, if you have another question, raise your hand or just unmute yourself and ask question. I'm open to answer any questions that that I can answer to the best of my ability. So basically, any questions, please unmute yourself and ask before I give the quiz I want to give. It's going to be like a takeaway thing. So let's wait for like 30 seconds. No one talks, I'll just go straight to giving the quiz questions. Oh, okay. I just got message we are not ending till class ends by 9. So I guess I have a bit of time to flex a bit. Let's give 4 more minutes. From now to 8:05. Please, if you have questions, ask. I'll wait 4 minutes. If you do not have, I already have the quiz questions here and stuff, and I would copy them and paste in the chat. Yes. Okay. As we wait, I just got text. I can go over stuff. I felt like I rushed a bit. So yay. Let's see if I can go over something I feel like I rushed. Okay. I feel like I rushed a bit because I thought I was out of time. This practice ethical hacking and stuff, this specifically is for people that are trying to go into penetration testing. Ignore this one here particular. As I said, learn the cybersecurity fundamentals, basically the introduction to cybersecurity, what cybersecurity is, how it works, different concepts of cybersecurity. They should not tell you, they should not talk about incident response or what a malware is, or types of malware, Trojan horses, viruses, worms. They'll tell you what's between a worm and a virus. Yeah, just muted their mic and assuming question is coming. Amara, Toma. Yeah, please ask your question. Is it me? I think you muted your mic. Your mic is muted. Okay, I think she has muted her mic. If you can hear me, if you want to talk, you have to unmute your mic. It's not able to hear you. So yeah, this is for if you're going into ethical hacking side. As that was my roadmap. I did a detour though here. I'm currently learning. I'm currently studying to be a SOC analyst before I go on to be an ethical hacker. So we'll get to this another time. Let's see. I won't really touch much into Web3, but again, You can be a Web3 security auditor. It's basically still technically under cybersecurity, but in the Web3 space, you can always analyze contracts, a smart contract before they go live, or even some live smart contracts, find vulnerabilities and get paid. Like legitly, if you're even good at it, if you're good at Web3 security auditing, you can shoot me a DM on Twitter. I can somewhat link you with someone that can offer you a job to actually do it well. They'll sign you, and you know you're good at what you do. You get paid and stuff. So yeah, if you're good at it, yes, I have a company that I can reach out to, and they would actually give you that job. So cybersecurity is cool. Um, Hold on, I'm doing something. Uh-huh. So let's go to number 6. Please, if you have questions, you can just turn off your mic and you can interrupt me and stuff, and we'll talk about it. I'm still looking. I'm trying to find something I rushed and stuff. I think I rushed around the Web3 security audit part, so I just clarified. I still don't exactly say anything that I rushed so far. I think I introduced myself properly. For people that I don't know, kind of just joining, my name is Abdul Qadir. I go by Cyberaz on Twitter, and as a nickname, they call me Raz. I think I had it here too, Raz. It's a double Z, sha. They call me Raz and stuff. Yes, currently on journey to be a penetration tester, and I am documenting my entire learning process on Twitter and some part on LinkedIn too. I'm not really a fan of LinkedIn, but I would go back documenting on there too. I try my best. I think I've covered the key points I wanted to cover and stuff, even how to start your journey, which was the most exciting part for me. Should have the picture of my Twitter here, or I could just share my screen is being shared. I guess I could just log in, and like we can go through my pin post as we wait. Okay, time has already passed, so I'll give the quiz question self now and stuff. Let's go to my profile. Uh, Profile. So this is me, and so this is the post. It's pinned. First post you find on my profile is maybe later. Like desktop Twitter is crazy. So yeah, step by step guide aspiring professionals embarking on the cybersecurity field. It can be challenging. Personally, myself, when I was starting, it took me months to figure a path. Like it was confusing. There's so much information on the internet. You will learn about this, you will now find this other creator online that comes and be like, no, don't do this, do this. You now go online and say, don't do this. Then there's always the scammers online that will be charging you a boatload of money to teach you the fundamentals that you can learn by yourself from free sources out there for nothing but the cost of your data and your time. And they can charge you extravagant amounts, 300K, 400K, 500, some even a million to teach you these things. And it's very, very unfair. They teach you nothing of value. I mean, basics of value, but it's not worth that much. And then you see people spending for basically nothing. And then they spend, and then they'll tell you, oh my God, after 2 months or 3 months, you can start applying for a job and be a cybersecurity, pen tester or whatever. And then you see people flooding the job market with basically almost no experience. And then they don't get the job, or they don't, get that recognition. And then they're complaining that, oh my God, the cybersecurity space is what's the word, like it's so saturated and stuff, which is technically not true. If you're very good at what you do, there's no way in hell you're not going to get through. If you're not getting jobs and all whatever, and you're at the peak, let's say, of the knowledge and stuff, do more labs, put yourself out there, be creative about applying for jobs. I feel like this is me going further than speaking about the fundamentals, but how to say it. So as you can see, this is basically I give plus resources to learn, which mostly Cisco and other platforms and stuff. There's this page I talk about too a lot, aptlearn.io. I got their fundamental course for like 3,500 naira, which is cool, but don't take it only. Take it together with like the ISC2 and then the NetaCard introduction to cybersecurity. Take these three courses if you are starting. Don't skip them. Take the NetaCard introduction to cybersecurity, the ISC2 on 2, very, very important. They hit different aspects. And then also it's 3,500 naira. You can purchase data, you can make the sacrifice to pay for this course. This is not a paid ad. I'm not making shit. I don't even know who owns this site, but it's good. They are good at what they do. That's why I keep promoting them for free. You can pay, get that, and like have like a summarized version of everything because they touch both cybersecurity fundamentals and networking fundamentals in a way in this APT learn onto. So I advise you to also go for it too. Then learn basics. Just Cisco own is okay. Then Linux. Yes, I forgot Linux. For the most part, if you want to break through in cybersecurity, you should learn how to use Linux. It's an operating system. I have one on my laptop. These are installed directly on my PC. I don't open VMware where I install the virtual one. Just have a lot of Linux machine on my laptop. Perks of being into cybersecurity. This was installed using WSL directly on my Windows device, so I can access it whenever time I want. This is it's yeah, this is a scan I made. This is a .pickup file I captured today. So you have Python 3. Maybe you can, you could play around with this. It's fun. This is a script a friend made for me for Wi-Fi hacking. I'm not supposed to share it with anybody, to be honest. So on stuff. But yeah, is that you could play around with it. A lot of commands you can play around with. You could create directories. You can ras show directories. You can enter the directory that you name ras. You can be inside. You can save your work here. Nothing is here. You can step back. Basically, you learn the commands. Just learn how to navigate your way around a Linux system, and you will be good. This is one I just installed. Yeah, because all tabs. No worry. So I think I've yapped enough. Showed my Twitter page to it's basically on the slide too, but sure. So I'm going to close this. Let's go straight to the. Okay, good. Let's go straight to the quiz. I'll just go to the quiz. Sorry. So hold on. I think I copied this since. Let's copy it again. Let's go here. I would paste it here. This is okay. I don't think I have the power to pin this step. So this is the quiz. The first question is, what are the three core principles of cybersecurity? I wanted to give hints, but I guess it wouldn't really be a quiz question if I give direct hints, but I spoke about it on the meeting. Secondly is, how does decentralization in W3 in Web3 impact traditional cybersecurity models? And then for the practical assignment, research and present a brief report on a recent cybersecurity breach in a Web3 project, highlighting the costs and the impact. And I think that will be all. If there's any questions, again, I'm lingering for a couple more minutes because I have basically done the presentation and all. And given a quiz question, you can do it and I don't know, make it a project on your page somewhere or even submit it to me directly or post it and tag the group that is hosting this space. I've forgotten their exact name is Valerie. Hold on. ValueCorp Global. You could do it and tag ValueCorp Global or me on the post on Twitter and would respond and stuff. So yeah, I'm basically done presenting. Again, see, I'm still saying it. I'm done presenting. If you have a question, any question, please. If you have a question, shoot it. If not, I think I am done presenting, and I hope everyone that attended loved my presentation, and I'm hoping the reason there are no questions is because everybody totally understood everything I said 100% and stuff. Um, so again, I think I'll be here for a couple more minutes. Any questions? Unmute your mic, ask. If no questions, thank you all for having me. I'm hearing a mic. Is there anyone trying to ask a question?
I wanted to speak actually. It's Carlton.
Okay, please speak.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So I've dropped the assignment question in the chat box, so you all can look at it, right? You can get a grab of it. Just check the chat box. You're going to see it, right? So we want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Abdul. I know you're still in the spirit of your celebrations. Thank you for coming on board. I actually enjoyed your class. I was a part of it. And to everybody that came on board, thank you. I've seen some people leaving. It's all good. Do well to listen to the recording. You need to turn in your assignment to validate your your continuity in this bootcamp, right? Because if you don't, you may have to be um, you may have to be replaced, something like that. So yes, please do well to turn in your assignment on time. And if you have any questions, get to our DM, ask us. Please check the WhatsApp group for updates. Stay tuned to our Telegram community. If you're not there, we would put up the links in the WhatsApp community. Do well to share whatever you're learning on X. It's a milestone. It shows that you are moving from one space to the other. As you do, you tag us. Oh, yes, you submit the assignment. You submit it on the website. Our website. While you registered, you must have excuse me. You must have seen the link to the website. There is a slot for assignment submission, and there are points allocated for that. And then there's also a video tutorial on how to go about the whole assignment submission. These links have been sent to the WhatsApp community, right? So if you are there, you could go over and watch the read the pin message. You can also we will also drop the links to our Telegram, so you have access to more information. Do well to follow our X handle, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook at Valicop Global. As well as our speaker, he constantly dishes cybersecurity content. I've been following him for like a month now, and I'm seeing what he's doing is massive. And we're rooting for you all, and we hope to see you in the next class, which will be next week Wednesday. I think we should be learning about network security, something revolving around that area. Check the website. You're going to see the curriculum laid out for everything you're going to learn in this cybersecurity track, right? So please do well to navigate wherever you have questions, you ask, and we will be happy to help you. Thank you, Chiere, Daniel, Tochuku, and all of you that are here on this call. We wish you a pleasant night rest and hope to see you or hope to text with you soon. See you next week. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Mr. Abdul. It would be very bad if we don't appreciate you on this call. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for accepting our invite. Thank you for every single thing you've done. I'm sorry my voice is a bit down. I caught a cold, right? So yeah, thank you, Abdul. Thank you so much. We're rooting for you and we wish you all the best. Thank you. Cheers to more collaborations. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you very much. I was really happy being here. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. You guys can also ask Abdul your questions on his X handle if you have any questions. Cyberaz. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.